I'm Leather Rokk. Welcome to my channel. And it's Thursday night. I think you know what that night is. Church day. You're gonna be hearing lots of noise in Espanol, and I'm properly dressed for the difficulty to upset. Here's the church people fights. It's a church leader. It's terrible. Last thing I want is for anybody to sneak their way in. You hear the church? I have so much. Can't wait to tell you about the code enforcement here in the city of Atlantic City. And I hope you find that it's really interesting that instead of them focusing on obvious trash, exteriors, and the damage outside, the piles of human excrement that you can find in many alleyways around here and in parking lots, gatherings of juveniles causing havoc, uh, people lighting fires to keep warm in abandoned buildings. You have so many things going on around here that I would like to think that the code enforcement would do better use of their time than hassling innocent families. And I found out that somebody dropped my name and made some kind of comments about the mice, and causes me to have suspicion that it's somebody having to do with the English speaking church. They would just, could you go to think of who stands to gain by causing problems with families? If, say, you got a family evicted or you closed a building down, who would stand to benefit? Now, anything happens to us, and assuming the whole building was closed down, but maybe they did the more damaged parts of the building. If we were out of here, then the church people could very well rent out our apartment from our landlord and fill it up with so many people. That man would be then able to charge his church volunteers rent to live here. And he'd make so much money. That man, he's a good money maker. I'll give him that. But he's not a nice person. And they've been wanting my family and me to get out of here for as long as not as long as we've been here, because we were here for 8 years before they showed up downstairs. So if there's anybody has respect for the seniority, and when we moved into this building, there was a very messy, noisy family with hyperactive children next door. And one of the kids used to run up and down, up and down, up and down the hallway. And I noticed that they brought roaches in. And then there was the bed bug summer. Yeah. Again, these are not problems that my family or I brought in, but it's easy to blame people who stand out from the typical demographics and what have you in this neighborhood. What do you think of the noise? Do you hear it? Weather's kind of nice now, but we're going to be having a thunderstorm in a couple hours. So I was actually hoping to get another shower in. Other things I want. I've been dyeing my hair. Maybe you can tell it's been refreshed. The back. Now the hair is actually not supposed to be blue. It's supposed to be a purple. It's a blue shade of purple. But I did put some blue in the very base of the nape of my neck where I have some overprocessed hair that the color just leaches right out of it. Thank you. I don't want to have the door open when the dealers are walking. So I noticed this church doesn't decide to put the loudspeakers out. You can't necessarily tell from the outside what's going on here. Tells me that they don't want outsiders to know. I don't think they advertise unless they only advertise in the Spanish speaking media. What makes sense if their services are in Spanish? Why would they use other languages to promote themselves? But it makes me wonder, what are they hiding? So sweaty. Right now, I've got something on the stove. I got a bunch of uh, corn, corn on the cobs. I got like 8 of them, 9 of them. And I put the water on the boil and I've got them in. Oh boy. Hot, hot, hot. I'm melting. Want to see Garfield? Oh, I want you to see how clean this kitchen is now. The other person that lives here, he finally did something with his life. If he cleaned this kitchen, you could see my mother's her rocking chair is gone. Somebody, he threw it in the trash. Apparently part of it was broken. Here, one of my friends went and took it, put it in the garden. So it lives on. Got corn on the cob. And I've been doing this for 7 minutes and 15, 16, 17. Can you guys hear me okay? I think it's odd that I've been doing this almost 7.5 minutes and I don't see evidence of anybody in the chat room. And it's no fun doing live streams if there's nobody in the chat room. Can you hear me? Is there problems with the audio? Hello? Can you say something, please? Okay. I was just about to end this. If somebody hadn't said something, I was just going to turn the computer off. You know, everybody else has their live streams. There's all this stuff in the chat room. And yeah. Tammy, hello. Hello, Stephen. Is it Stephen or Stephen? Oh, good. Is the audio okay? Sometimes I make videos and people say they can't hear, but other times the audio is okay. There's some footage that I made a couple days ago that I cannot hear, so I'm not posting it. I'm so pissed off at that person cleaning. I'm so glad he that, but he broke a string on one of my guitars. He was moving some stuff. As you see, I now have these chest of drawers things that I actually brought in off the street a couple of months ago. And these have different things in them to right now I've got some food products that are being protected against mice and worse. And now I also have, I want to try to you not see the worst you. I've got a thing there up on my bed. And I still have a crap load of clothes on my bed. And that's because when you really don't have closets and you have that kind of sucks. Oh, so what do you think of my shirt? I really was thinking of obnoxious church people when I got it. And it was like $4 or something. And I got this on wish.com. I thought it was the cutest little thing. And the only thing is because it is so controversial, I don't wear it in public too much. One time I wore it on the boardwalk and the Hare Krishnas ended up having a parade. And I wouldn't have deliberately worn that shirt to hang out with them, but going home and changing, especially in the summer, is not all that much fun. Oh man, I am just melting in this heat. I'm opening up another window. Oh man. So you guys are over 21, right? I mean, I try to make it clear some of what I discuss on this channel is not for kids. I don't want to set a bad example, but I live in a state that is over 21 for such things such as cannabis. Now, I'm clean and sober off everything else, even though I still do think about psychedelics and I think there's a time and a place. But I really, really love weed, as you probably know. And one of my buddies out here, he found a bag of weed somebody lost on the floor of one of the casinos. He didn't say which one. And he picked up this bag and he said he waited all week looking for me. And I'm thinking, how, if you know me, if you know the places that I might frequent, I should not be too hard to find. But the important thing is he found me. I'm going to show you what he gave me. Okay. Well, first of all, I'm going to show you what it came in. Pretty bag here. It's about, well, I guess about half of an eight. So it would be what, 16? And this is the graphics on this. I think weed packaging has some of the trippiest, cartoony kind of stuff. And it actually says on it Monster Rex. But I shared a little bit of this with the farmer up the street, and he thought it was a weed called headband. So, and these are the kind of things that you want to save. But the thing is, if I find myself traveling across unfriendly states like Texas, I heard that they've still got people in prison for the weed. They're cranking down in Austin, I'm hearing. But I got to find a lighter. Good. All right. And actually, this lighter is from one of the newer cannabis dispensaries that opened up in town, a place called the Healing Side, which, of course, I've never been in any of these dispensaries because they treat you like you're trying to buy a gun or something. They don't give you a background check thing, but they make you show forms of photo identification. Of course, only certain kinds of IDs allowed. And they should be able to take a look at people and figure out the spring chickens from the not so spring chickens, you know. But no, it's ridiculous. If I was to go into a liquor store, which I wouldn't do, I mean, I might go there if they had 99-cent potato chips or something. But so I'm going to fire up some of this weed. Hope you don't mind. I'm a good girl. I don't have too many vices. Uh, sometimes the food that I end up eating is not the healthiest, but I'm about to have a bunch of corn in the cob with butter and salt and pepper on it in a few minutes. Cherry, hey. Yeah, I had to walk away from alcohol. It harmed me greatly. Starting when I was 17, I had my first blackout. But it took me some decades to figure out that it was causing me too much harm, no matter how I tried to time it, no matter how much I worked on my tolerance. I had a much bigger weed pipe. Some of my male friends out here are weird. And it's not just a man thing, but there's this guy who will refuse to use this pipe of mine because maybe it was larger and it was made him insecure or he thought it was phallic or whatever. And if you're going to have a dirty mind like that, don't blame it on me. It's your dirty mind. You know, sometimes people come up with these ideas. And yeah, I've been since the Trump rally, that obviously had me very busy, but I was glad that I had the footage from that I was able to just have in his computer and every day put something down. And it gave me time. I wasn't doing much filming. I was able to just, spend time on my hair, washing it. My hair is nice and clean. I've been taking so many showers lately. And when you're living in a situation where one of the people you live with does everything he can to make it inconvenient for you to get in the bathroom. But look, I put a hair conditioner in this. I wash it out. It's untangled. Now, I don't want to thank you, Sherry. Um, Tammy, I'm glad I saw that. Yes, this is Mother's blessing, and it's how I de-stress. I swear I'm less of an asshole on weed. I put some more color in the braids. Uh, you can see beads came out of this one, but I added a teal to the loose hairs that were on here. I added one little teal streak, and the blue I put at the very base, if you can even see that. But I know I got hella roots, and it's a bit of a, oh, you dyed yours blue for Puss's birthday. Oh, I'm sweating so bad. And I broke off part of my clapboard somewhere in the garden area, and I've been looking and looking and looking. And this is, I have two clapboards. This was the original clapboard that I brought back from Los Angeles. Then, when I had lost this, but somebody had found it for me again, a good friend of mine who I met on Facebook, but who since passed away, he got me another clapboard. I misplaced that somewhere. It could be somewhere here in the room or whatever. Uh, so if I don't find the wood to this, I could, in theory, make a wood thing for this, or I could just go on wish.com or something and go find another one. It would be easy to do. Decent guy. Hey, Amir Udin, if that's how you say it. Hello. Oh, hot, 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 hot. I'm smoking wacky tobacco. Oh, hot, 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 hot. Garfield is doing really well. Um, I still don't have a litter box for him because I don't know if he's litter box trained. 106. Oh man. I've lived in San Francisco before. I've certainly lived in Los Angeles. Uh, One time I lived near the La Brea Tar Pits on Olympic Boulevard. And this was when they were having some rolling blackouts. And we actually did have air conditioning, but we would turn it on for like 15 minutes at a time. My mother is grouchy. She's awake. She, she's still like, when I bring food in the house, she gets on my case about like, are we going to eat it before it goes bad, and who's going to fix it, and who's going to do like the prep. Like, okay, I brought in some corn on the cobs today, and they were still had the husk and all that stuff on them, and I had them in a bag, and after a while a bunch of flies started getting on. My mother said, why don't you just take everything and throw it out? And it's like, there's nothing wrong with them, I'm sure, once you take the husks off them. I'm not going to throw out perfectly good food. So what I did was I took the whole bag, I sealed it up, carried it outside, carried it across the street, opened it up, let all the flies get off of it. Then I husked it all the way, took all the silk off it, the things. Now, the thing is, you can save the husks and you can use them to steam. You can make tamales. I love corn tamales, and you can fill them with different things. See, Los Angeles is only 80 degrees. Uh, Mile High Community Channel. Hey, shout out to you. You guys, good content. Is not afraid to show the truth of people, and sometimes catches people behaving badly. And you got to shine a light on things. Is it light is a good disinfectant, they say. Uh, but I'm hearing that it may be a little bit easier for me to get the school buses that I want, the used school bus. If there's supposed to be this initiative to get a whole bunch of green running electric school buses for kids, that means they're probably going to be getting rid of at the auction sites the current school buses. So maybe the bus I get doesn't have to be so old. I love tamales. There was when I lived on Santa Monica and Vine in Hollywood, and one of my roommates had a parrot. Always wake me up at 5:30 in the morning. It's a parrot lady and her boyfriend, and they lived in a fourth floor in this apartment building. And there is a lady that lived there, her and her family, and she sold tamales one day a week. I think it was probably Sundays. She sold them. Uh, there's a sign in the cab of the elevator, and it said wherever her apartment was, and you could get them. But they were so good. Yes, freedom and truth. Uh, that's so important, and it takes a lot of courage to tell the truth. And sometimes it's not even legal to tell the truth. Like, for instance, as a YouTuber, we have to be very careful about some of the things we say. It's a little bit easier if you're filming out in public and you just happen to catch some stuff. But still, you know how we're controlled. We have so many community standards and so many things where we can get accused of spreading disinformation. And it's another reason why I don't go live as much as I had been going, because I can't tell you how many of my live streams YouTube took down, like sometimes 3 or 4 or 5 years after a fact. And they were videos that had nothing to do with politics. Like some of them were cooking videos that prominently featured my dead cats. And all of a sudden I find out that YouTube took them down. And so now I try to download back my content as soon as possible after going live. But you know what? I'm going to have to invest in another big portable hard drive, because I dropped the Seagate that I had. It was like it stored 6 or 7 terabytes. So I need to get something else that holds as much, but that is much sturdier, so that I can drop something. I should be able to drop something 3 feet onto a carpeted floor and not have it break. Drops happen, especially if something is attached by a cord and the cord gets caught. You trip on the cord and you pull things down. It's like I've dropped this laptop before. And oh, you want to see the stickers that are on the back of my laptop? Here. Do you see? Oh, wait a minute. Ah, duh. Of course you didn't see that. Um, I can't show you. Well, no, I would have to be in front of another mirror to do that. Anyway, sometime when I'm in front of a bunch of mirrors, I'll show you. Because I have a Trump sticker on my computer, and I also have a Biden sticker. But he's pointing at something, and he said, I did that. It's like the stickers that some people see at the gas stations. So hot. Let me find out what Garfield is. Oh, he's right here. Garfield. You want to see Garfield? I will pull him. I'll bring you to him instead of picking him up. No. He is so hairy. He has quite the run of the house. He knows he's welcome. Everybody loves him. My mother is cool with him. The other person who lives here was talking baby talk to him and stuff. So you can tell that a person loves animals when they talk like that to them. That's the one thing I could say about the other person that I live with, is that he loves animals. Oh, 85 and dry in Denver, Colorado area. I find it hard to imagine summers in Denver. I've only ever been to Denver around Christmas time. Usually, when I'm taking a Greyhound across the country, I try to route through Denver, but I also like going through Las Vegas, and I believe you have to choose one or the other. Like one, you get to go through Salt Lake City, and the other, you don't. But if, say, you got blizzards and they're closing off the I-70, then you might be lucky and have a couple hours layover in Denver. And there used to be this bar I would have a couple cocktails at called Arapahoe Junction. And I've been to the post office. And there's a park where a bunch of skateboarders was doing a bunch of tricks and stuff. But I haven't been to Las Vegas in quite a while. I used to go there frequently. I had a bad boyfriend that used to like to play craps with the rent money. And he was pretty good at what he did. So only one time did he lose. And I remember he was trying to sell one of his leather jackets. And I actually had a little bit of money on me and I kept it to myself. And I know that he felt very humbled and very humiliated what he was doing, trying to sell his jacket. But he was very abusive to me. So I didn't mind seeing him eat some humble pie because he was not a nice person. So, but let's see. I believe they just recently destroyed the Mirage, and I remember when that was a new property there. I remember when the Luxor was being under construction, and I never saw the full pyramid I saw when they were working on it. And I would see the partially built Luxor from the Greyhound. Now, I've been going to Greyhound, I've been going to Vegas since you could get 49-cent shrimp cocktails at the Plaza Hotel. And the Plaza Hotel was right next to the Greyhound, which is in the downtown area. It's not anywhere near the strip. And there's this thing called Fremont Street Experience. It had a light and sound show, and it changed depending on what if there was a holiday nearby. I saw it there around the 4th of July and, of course, the Christmas time, Christmas holidays. So, but I remember the shrimp cocktails went from 49 cents to 99 cents. I remember when Circus, it's a hotel casino that, I don't know if there's a hotel or if it's just a casino, but they had circus acts and they had free popcorn and real cheap hot dogs. And they had like 49-cent breakfast or something and 99-cent lunch, and dinner was like less than $2. And oh, I remember the serious deals. I remember Silver City Casino that was totally smoke free, and I thought that was really great. And the outside of there, they have these slightly larger than life size statues of Indians and cowboys. And after a couple of drinks, you find yourself talking to one of these characters. And I was starting to go to Las Vegas when weed was still very, very, very illegal, where you could get 7 years for a seed and you could have a felony on you. And where if you're caught with LSD, you could get 25 years to life for attempted murder. Now, how is LSD attempted murder? I don't understand that. Do they ever uh, interview people who actually have any experience with psychedelics at all? I mean, it's been a few years, but I have done those things in Las Vegas. And I heard that there was a lot of homeless people in Vegas, but I don't know how the police are treating them. And I was thinking of going there to dance, but I found out almost all the dance places require tip outs, and I have a problem with that. Everybody thinks that they have a right to 10% of somebody else's. No. And then after that, the IRS wants their taxes. You know, that's kind of one of the things that sucks is that everybody has a handout for a percentage of your money. And I don't think that's right. If I ever open up a strip joint, which I have actually thought of, first of all, though, I would be real strict on the no prostitution thing. I wouldn't be letting the bitches do that. Second of all, I wouldn't be requiring any tip outs either. So that would, of course, mean that I'd have to find another way to pay for the doorman. And I wouldn't have any fancy DJ thing. I would just have the girls put a tape in or whatever music their follow format is. I will have devices to play many different formats. So if you have LP records, if you have cassette tapes, if you have CDs, and I guess you need to get MP3 players for the digital copies. But see, that's the one form of music that I have never had. I never got into, I never had those, not iPads, because iPad is a tablet. Um, One of the music players, I never had them before because I never understood why you would have music on yet another form when you probably already had it on both vinyl and cassettes, right? So, Stephen, thank you for tuning in. I post every day and I go live whenever I can. So, and the live doesn't replace the daily, the live is just something extra because I like the interaction with the people. That's the most fun part of this is talking in real life to people. And I love to read the comments. And I love the communication and talking to people. You live in all these different places, and some of which I have lived in, and like to talk about the areas, you know. So, oh, I'm so hot. Oh, I'm gonna take a look at the corn on the cob situation. Such a good boy. Can you believe how clean it is in here? He did a good job. Oh, nice and clean. And look what else I'm going to be eating. This is perch fish. Each one of these is supposed to be 2 ounces, but you know that this is obviously not as big as this. I'm about to cut these open and find a way to cook these. Oh, what I'm doing. This water. I'm going to be so happy. Audio went mute. Uh, I hope I don't have a problem with this laptop because I got some olive oil. I guess you say ciabatta. It looks like ciabatta. But they have a better version of that that has rosemary in it also. I just, oh, unfortunately, I just spattered some water onto this. This is a pan that I already put oil in it. So I'm going to turn the fire on and it's going to spatter. And I got to find my scissors. I have to cut those open with scissors first. And I think I hung the scissors up. Okay, I'm back. Found the scissors. Wash my hand. Mandalore the Ultimate. Hey, perch. I'm going to try turning the fan off. Maybe you'll hear the church during this thing. Perch is so good. And all this stuff that's dripping out, it's going to fry up to white. Did I watch the new Garfield movie? I haven't seen it yet. I don't usually see movies when they come out, as soon as they come out. The first Borat, I saw that opening day. It opened on my birthday. And I haven't seen the second one yet. I almost never eat fresh fish, which frozen is, for all intents and purposes, fresh. I consider it to be fresh. Every little bit out. Then I like to deglaze the pan and use that liquid on ramen noodles or to cook ramen noodles. I didn't know that I was going to be cooking in this, but sometimes I do end up doing that in my streams. My mother wanted me to cook up the corn on the cob. I'm going to turn that off because she thought it only needed to be boiling for 5 minutes, and I'm sure it was boiling longer than that. Not the only thing I'm going to be frying up tonight. Got something else to fry up. This is marketed as meatloaf mix. It's actually half ground pork and half ground beef. And this was supposed to be reduced for quick sale, $5.03 for, oh, is it supposed to be $3.99 a pound? And this was supposed to be uh, 1.80 pounds. So I'm gonna take an even mixture, and I hope you could see what I'm doing. Trying not to let the meat touch the fish. Try to mix up the meat. But I gotta keep in mind I'm gonna have to add more oil underneath it before I turn the fire on, because there's never enough oil in this meat mixture. And believe it or not, there are times when an extra lean hamburger or ground beef is actually too lean, and you have to add a bunch of oil during the cooking. Uh, I didn't consider that to be clean, so I'm going to use another covering for this meat. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to use a sandwich baggie for that. But I'm going to wash my hands first. Always very careful when I'm working around raw meat. I don't want any cross contamination. Don't want to feed this to the mice or the any insects either. But let me get a bag real quick. All right. Good way to fill ground beef in one of these things is just to turn it inside out. Makes it a little bit easier. But actually, maybe not, because you still end up having to turn it right side out to fill it. And I'm going to go ahead and mix it up, sort of kind of as I pack this. I only fry up this meat when I have really good bread to put it on, like a good sourdough, a real sourdough. I've lived in San Francisco before, so San Francisco has some really, really, really out of this world bread. Now, I'm starting to hear the funky bass playing of the church downstairs. When I have this safely on the grill after I've seasoned it up, um, I'll take the computer back down in the stairwell, give you more treatment to the of the church. I might even do something a little naughty that we're probably not supposed to do, but that I'm sure has been done before. Okay, see? Now this is all carefully put up in a bag, and now it's nice and sanitary. Now I can put it safely in the fridge. But then after I do that, I gotta season this meat. Oh, I'm not gonna add this to the mix, but look what I got the other day. Bacon. I love bacon. Oh, Okay, wash my hands again. Oh, man. Okay, gonna throw some random spices into this. Turmeric. I love cooking with turmeric. This is good for you. It's supposed to be good as an anti-inflammatory. It's supposed to have some preventive uh, qualities for cancers, especially lung cancer. When my father was diagnosed with lung cancer, I put turmeric into a lot of food for him. He didn't really appreciate it very much, though. I was starting to get into Indian cooking and learning about the spices involved in that, and he wasn't really. I love bacon. Oh, you ever had chocolate covered bacon? Oh man, I had some of that a couple of birthdays ago. You know what? I'll throw some uh, of this on the fish too. Yeah, it's garlic. Mmm. Garlic's the kind of thing if one person's eating it, everybody should eat it. You know. Now, some religious traditions don't use either garlic or onion. Did you know that? Some of the Orthodox Hindus stay away from it. They use asafoetida instead, which I will not cook with. Asafoetida is also called hing, and it has metaphysical uses too. I actually have some, but I use it. I have used it for magical things. I've never used it to cook with, but I understand it has a very foul smell, foul like some biological smells that we find offensive. So that's a lot of reason to not want to cook with it. Okay, I'm going to throw in just a little bit of cumin. And I've read it somewhere that you shouldn't handle ground meat too much because it toughens it up. But I'm thinking, does that really matter considering that you're frying it and since it's already ground, you know? So I'm going to have a meat patty in the center of this frying pan, and I'm going to have four little fish fillets around this. And I have a selection of really good quality breads here. I read also that when you're pressing the stuff down, don't have it raised higher at the center. Always have it a little lower in the center. And this should have a real good flavor since it's half ground pork and half ground beef. And the fish, I have lemon juice afterwards. See, this isn't a big patty, and this is going to shrink. I would like to get salt on it. Box, millions of box. Whatever. Um, Nobody can find the salt shaker. What? Mom, I'm filming. What? You found it? Oh. Come here, baby. Come here. Oh, yes. Garfield, come here. Come here. Come on. Look who's coming here. Look who's coming here. Look who's coming here. Garfield, the baby, the baby. Show everybody your pretty face. Show everybody your pretty face. Oh, Garfield's here. He's such a good boy. He's such a good boy. And I'm being a good girl. This is the dirty hand. Touch the computer. The clean hand has and you're being a good boy. Oh, now I got salt. I'm gonna have to use my now I'm gonna set the fire on this. Not too high. Gonna wash my hands again. Garfield, how you doing, baby? Everybody want to see you? Want to see Garfield? Oh, look who's here. Look at that good boy. Oh, he's such a good boy. But he sheds so much. This cat, I've never known a cat shed like this cat sheds, okay? I made an order on Temu a couple days ago. And one of the things I ordered is a cat brush. He is so hairy. He is such a hairy boy. When I pet him, handfuls of hair go up in the air and they go everywhere. And the first time I brush you, I'm going to brush you outside and the air is going to go in the air. Your hair will be everywhere. Your hair will be everywhere. He's such a good boy. I love him so much. He's such a good boy. Hey, boy. Oh, such a good boy. Such a good boy. Such a good boy. Such a good baby. Such a good baby. He's such a good baby. And he's got the quietest meow. A little chirpy little quiet meow. So delicate. Oh meow. What? What? We want to hear. Yeah? Really? Sometimes he does this thing, crooked thing, where he looks pouty, but his lip sticks out more on one side than another, and it just looks so cute. The face. Look at that sweet face. Look at that sweet face. Oh, the baby. No, no, no. The baby. I got cat hair in my mouth now. All right. Oh, all right. Now take a look at that. Nom, nom. Mm. And one great thing about all the people that are digging through the trash around here, even though the person that did the cleanup around here threw out a lot of stuff that maybe we wish he didn't, and that included some of the utensils. Like this is kind of an important utensil because you want plastic and rubber. They won't scratch up your nonstick cookware the way metal would, but this is really good for loosening up burgers to flip them. And when people were digging through the trash, they left some other things out there, so I was able to get this and I washed it real good. So I want to loosen up the burger. Uh, There, see what a nice job I did of flipping that? I didn't break any of it this time. Now I'm gonna turn the fish for a bit. I noticed they curl up though. Once the skin goes down, all right. All right, want to hear some funky church music? Come on with me. Gonna see the church. Say goodbye. You want to hear some cha-cha-cha music? Get ready. Hail Satan, hail Satan, let's party. Hail Satan. Oh, wait, hold that thought. Well, you got it. You know what time it is, right? It is. Never done it in a common area. Pretty sure it's against the rules here. But you know what? Nobody ever asks us how we feel. People would use this hallway to smoke tobacco. And tobacco makes people like us feel very sick. Okay. What is okay. You hear the music? All right. Hear the music? You know what time it is? It's 4:19 and a half. Actually, it's 8:38 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. But on the Leather Rock channel, it's always 4:20. All the music. This is interesting little reality. Well, and you hear somebody has those obnoxious long plastic horns that the kids play when they go to soccer matches, you know. And sometimes coming home from parades, you'll see occasionally somebody will blow them whenever I hear them. It's very annoying. I imagine if my father was alive, he would have said, blow it out your ass. Because that's what he would say. Hail Satan, you church people. You don't like this guy. Shame I don't have a bunch of gothic friends that show up with Nosferatu costumes or a bunch of devil's horns things. Get some red face paint. Get some pitchforks. You know, let's throw a party. You know the nights this church goes on. I'm telling you, if I could actually clean up one of the rooms, I would love to throw a one-off, little totally illegal house party club kind of thing. You know, people salmon fishing, but if the water is too rough, the fish won't bite. I guess. Believe this. Left-hand path. I do have a background. in Wicca, and used to Coast to Coast AM radio, after night when Art Bell was the main host, and he would have all these different people he would interview. And I learned about transcendental meditation. I learned about astral projection. I learned so many things, and it was something. It was like this world that I certainly didn't bring up to my mother or anything. When I was keeping diaries, I put things in. Uh, I wrote in kind of a code that was just pretty much just using initials for things. Like there was a time when I was fascinated with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and I was actually into that for a while. I was a real little girl because I liked the Osmond family. Anyway, I was gonna run away from home at the age 11, marry Alan Osmond. Haha. And, uh, and the thing is, having been a member of the Osmond fan club for a year or two when I was a little girl, I know that he married his high school Suzanne. I'm sure they're still married. But anyway, yes, I am very metaphysical. And so I didn't buy this shirt. It says Hail Satan on it, but I got it kind of as a funny shirt and as an ironic shirt and as a shirt to try to deliberately offend a few ignorant people. And hoping that my friends are in on the joke. And because there have been a lot of people that I have struggled with trying to convince them that I may be magical, but I'm not satanic. And then I'll go around and wear a shirt like this. And I better check the fire on it. So I know I tend to, but I turn it at least once. So this is a bigger piece of it's going to be really good when I deglaze this pan. It's going to have both fish nums in it and meat nums in it. And the stock from that would be really great on ramen noodles. I like my meat close to well done. I don't like charcoal briquettes. And anyhow, blackened meat, like blackened toast, is not good for us. It turns into a carcinogen. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Um, it's just not good to eat food that has reached that point. And I always scrape toast if it's got too blackened. My mother doesn't care so much, but I obviously want my loved ones to be healthy and safe and all that. Garfield! Look at this clean kitchen. Can you believe it? So nice and clean. I took out the recycling. I'm going to take out the trash. There's Garfield. Now, supposedly this floor was mopped, and I would really like to mop it again. See? The only things that are on this back table are each of these containers here holds clean utensils. So these mugs are really great. These actually, you stick them in the freezer for like an hour or more, and then they act just like something that had ice cubes in it, and it keeps your beverage cold without watering it down. So it's really great for iced tea. It would be great for tomato juice. Anything really. And usually a good rule of thumb, they say with fish, is when it becomes opaque, then and flakes easily with a fork, then you know it's done. Sometimes directions say it should reach a certain temperature in a meat thermometer and stuff, but I'm somebody who loves sushi, so I don't require my fish to be well cooked. But that said, they have food safety rules for a reason, and nobody wants worms or anything. But this, I believe, is going to be the bread I'm going to use. Can you hear that church music? It's vibrating underneath my feet, really. When I was at that Trump rally, I had a nice quartz crystal attached to one of my purses by a very heavy duty safety pin. And this is one of my favorite quartz crystals. I actually bought it off of some lady who looked like an Indian from the Pueblo tribe or the Pueblo area in the southwest. And she had a blanket out with crystals and stuff. For $5, I bought this. I'll show it to you in a minute. I'm going to turn this off. Uh, and so I got this quartz crystal, and I didn't put it on a chain before going to the Trump rally because I didn't want to have yet more metal on me. So I figured if I would just attach it to the purse, and I never lost it or anything. But I'll show it to you after I cut this. Okay, I have two pieces of bread. I always eat open face, so this bread has a good taste to it. Before I deal with this meat, I am going to give my mother a piece of this corn on the cob because otherwise she's going to interrupt this. This is the corn on the cob. Oh, here, I'm gonna. Nope, I don't want to get my computer wet. See? Uh, yeah. Sorry it took me so long. I kept on trying to tell her the camera was rolling. And she didn't understand if I meant for her to take the whole pot. I said, no. I said, but you just take one of these. So, I bring the food in the house. If it's not ready to go to eat, I have to do the prepping, I have to do the cooking, I have to do the cleaning. I'm still expected to come up with my daily YouTube stuff, which I don't mind doing because I love to do it. And the live streams I do when I can. But with that said, when I do live streams, I like to have interesting things going on. So if I'm going to have to cook anyway, why not, right? I should ask her if she wants a butter. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, baby, baby, oh. Oh, I was kicked Garfield by mistake. He went into my mom's bedroom. I asked her if she wanted any butter and salt. I offered her pepper, but we don't have any pepper. Oh, putting salt on first because the tongue is on the bottom, and we all have all these toppings on the top. And I understand because of gravity. God, these guys are so. Welcome to the summer. See, I don't need to put anything else on there. Even though I might have some guacamole. Hold on. Why not get decadent if you can, right? Guacamole. It looks like this because it has salsa on top of it. I don't know why they would do that. But I got to make sure that this doesn't fall on the ground because guacamole is very toxic to cats. You know that. Linda, chandelier. I am. Look who's here. See how clean this kitchen is? The other person who lives here clean this kitchen. So it's I'm trying to have a neater looking home, and it's so hard doing everything. I bring the food in, I cook it. I just made corn on the cob. And this is the burger has a half ground beef and half ground pork, and the fishes around it are perch. Right now, my mother's eating corn on the cob. Mm. This is the bread I'm using. I don't care for squishy bread, real soft, spongy breads. I don't like that texture. I like a crusty, tough or bread that has substance. When I lived in San Francisco, I was so privileged to get to try bread from all these different bakeries that they would donate their bread at the end of the day to an organization called Food Not Bombs. And Food Not Bombs saved all this food, and they would hand it out to hungry people, homeless, hungry, fiscally challenged, whatever, curious, whatever. Usually in public places. Occasionally, the police would give attitude because sometimes the mayors would be really tough on us. But San Francisco sourdough, absolutely. I got turned on to sourdough bread, and it was like seeing God. It was having a mystical experience. I got turned on to sourdough bread. I also got some really good bagels there. Um, there is this place, Glide Memorial Church, made good grits, good breakfast. It has scrambled eggs and grits and a good bagel. You ever see the Will Smith movie Pursuit of Happiness? Um, Quite realistic, though I'm proud to say that I don't know what it's like to sleep on a bathroom floor of a metro or a subway station, or I've never slept on a bathroom floor before. That's got to be, doesn't seem pleasant. I put lemon juice on top of that guacamole so it wouldn't turn. And the thing is, it's so runny and so sour, it's making me think that this is the last day for it. Oh, I tried driving on LSD there once on Market Street. And I was smart to stop because I realized that the lights were, instead of being normal, they were spacing out. And I was smart and I pulled over and stuff. See, the first time I went there, uh, I had two roommates who they wanted to buy a ferret. And ferrets were illegal in California at the time, but they had somebody in San Francisco who was going to sell them a ferret. So I had a car, so got to see how fast my little sports car would go. And I went between 105 and 115 miles an hour. Yes, I did. We had quartz crystals in our hands, me and my two passengers, and we concentrated on two things: no accidents and no police. So we got there safe. People just got the hell out of my way. And but I would never do it again, though. I mean, obviously now I know that that was reckless driving, and there was really no need to do that. It was just I had a sports car, and I thought, well, let me give it a chance to go out on the open road. And in my defense, it was 2 weeks after this earthquake had happened in 1987 that interrupted the World Series. It happened on somebody's birthday. Mandalore the Ultimate. Hello. Um, I don't mean to be rude. Yeah, San Francisco. I really had. I even had sushi there one time, and I don't know how long it had been sitting out. It was salmon, and each piece had a tiny little sliver of either lemon or lime on it. And I was actually camping out like it was a slumber party on the street, and it was fun, believe it or not, because I was in a group of people, and there's a safety in numbers thing. And hanging out with the punk rockers was fun because you were in a group where you didn't have the vulnerabilities of being a single female with because you're in a group of people. But then what ultimately happens is somebody gets drunk and stupid and does something that ruins things, like breaks a beer bottle, smashes it, and things that attract negative attention. But the first time I went there, I was there for 2 weeks, and they lived around. Their friends lived somewhere around Market, and I forget where exactly, because I didn't know my way around. But what ended up happening is I went on tour with the Grateful Dead in '93, and I got a ride to San Francisco, and I got to hang out. This just started me spending 5 months out of every year in the mid '90s hanging out in San Francisco, and I had such a good time. I was writing a lot of poetry. I was very the time for real social justice, but we didn't call it that then. It was easy to get political, and it was easy to find other people that also cared about the causes that you were into. And if there was a demonstration or something about it, you could go and do. And you could go to Berkeley, and you could have cannabis. Uh, uh, it was like smoke-ins and stuff, and you could see things going on in Golden Gate Park, and things going on at the park across from Civic Center, and it was just really exciting. But now I think it's taken a turn to be very dangerous, and it's not. Being homeless now wouldn't be fun in the way that it was when I was doing it. Yeah, it was like a slumber party when I was doing it. And the over and the yeah one of the there is a two-level uh bridge and highway that one pancaked onto the other when the earthquake happened. See, that earthquake happened on somebody I know's birthday, and so the World Series happened to be on his birthday, and I was dancing on stage when that happened. I had a dance gig at the time, and the city, the Los Angeles, they closed the place down, and so there was no reason not to go on a little road trip. Mm. Garfield, good boy. Wonder if he's never been in a litter box before. I redid some front ones, and I took out the ones in the back so that I could dye my hair. I want to redo them. I can't do my roots with the braids in though. And I was wanting to refresh my color. And in order to be able to dye my hair, I need unlimited time in the bathroom. Some of the beads I've had for a long time. I've been braiding my hair since I was 15. Oh, this morning I had to get in the line for something, and there are some people that cheated, that instead of going to the back of this little line that was really not that long, they just went straight up the stairs. And even though they were confronted by some people, I don't believe they paid them any mind. Oh, oh, you be careful about those coyotes. I hear they eat dogs and cats sometimes, so I would definitely not have anything you care about unattended. Mm. Eat for dessert. Oh, when I was in Los Angeles last, there had they had this store that was nothing but beads. And if it's still there, I would definitely like to check it out. But what I'm actively looking for to end my braids, shells that naturally have holes in them. I can use them to end my braids. And if I ever have to go through metal detectors, like when I went to see Trump, the less metal, the better. And the only thing is, though, the shells can hit against each other and break. I have a whole bunch of little fake gold rings, and I could have everything have the same color. But then again, you're having a bunch of metal, and that defeats the purpose. Plus, I don't know if that color is going to end up tarnishing and looking rusty and yucky. A lot of those fake gold metals end up looking really bad. And you don't have to necessarily get them wet. Just having exposure to salt air when you live on the coast, like I do. I have to usually coat my fake gold with that clear nail polish, and that helps delay the tarnishing. But I still have some jewelry that I got at dollar stores here, and within a couple of months, it looked really dingy, and you know, and not everything can really be easily coated with polish. Like those thin gold chains, no, they're hard to protect. I get hot. One of the things that I ordered on Temu, there's special earring backs that you could actually sleep in. Instead of having this thing that pokes the back of your head from sticking out of your ears, it encases it in a round ball, so nothing pokes you. The only thing is you have to choose whether you want silver tone or gold tone or rose gold tone. Okay. And so that means you have to have at least some silver tone and some gold tone just to go with whatever jewelry you have. I do have a few things in fake rose gold, but I didn't want to spring for a 10 pack of rose gold things. I don't know exactly what you call them, but you replace your regular earring backs with them, and it's a total sphere. So it wouldn't be hurting you, and it's so soft feeling that you can sleep in it. And that's one thing I was never able to do with earrings because they always hurt because of the post sticking out. But these backs look like that would solve the problem. So I thought that was really smart. And in a couple of weeks, I'll get the order. This could take a month. And of course, I will do the unboxing when they come here because the most important thing was getting a cat brush because this cat is such a shedder. And you touch him, and handfuls of hair just get in the air. So, you want to hear the sounds of the Groovy Church? Well, let me put this safely in the fridge so nothing can happen to that. and put the guacamole away. I've got to find a way to make a cover for the meat because I really don't want the mice to go at it. You know, I'm real generous and kind with them. You know I am. But I don't want to sharing that food with them. I put that thing on there, but I want to put something on that was really, really clean. This makes a good shield from the mice. Because the mice do go on top of the stove. They live in the stove. Okay, I'm gonna put this on top of. This. Oh, this is my setup here. Hopefully, this is hard enough that no critters can get at it. No. Yeah. Look at my Garfield kitty. Kitty, 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 kitty. Who's that kitty? Garfield. Garfield. Pretty boy. All right, Garfield. Okay. The church is going on and on and on. It's still doing it. Oh, fully excited.